Hi, what's up? I have been meaning to shoot this video. I have been receiving far too many requests to upload a video on Derrida, on Jacques Derrida, on Poststructuralism, on Deconstruction per se. But I have been very busy with cultural studies, with postmodernism, with masculinity studies, with gender studies, with queer theory, as it were. But this has been requested by a fair number of students. Sir, why don't you upload one YouTube video, at least one YouTube video on Jacques Derrida, on Deconstruction, on Poststructuralism. So finally I have squeezed some time to shoot this video, which is going to be absolutely devoted to Derrida, Deconstruction and Poststructuralism. Now, before I start this lecture on Jacques Derrida, I would like to ask you a very simple question, and this is not my question. This is the question that Holy Bible sort of begins with. And how does the Bible begin with? How does Bible begin with? How does Holy Bible begin with? God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Now, why did God have to say? Why did God always have to say, never write? Ishwar কহিলেন. Why does God always, every single time say, but God never writes? What's wrong with God wrote that let there be light, and there was light? What would be wrong with this statement? There will be something terribly wrong with that statement. And what is that? Because writing is female, writing is absence, speech or spoken form is presence, spoken form is male. Now, why am I gendering speech as masculine, and why am I gendering writing as feminine? To answer this very complicated post-structuralist philosophical problem or crisis, I have to mention this sentence, that speech is God / sort of presence or male, masculine, because speech deals with, remember this word, speech deals with immediacy. Now, what is immediacy? What is immediacy? Immediacy means there is no gap between the speaker and the speech. That is to say, when a speaker speaks, then the speaker has to be present in order for speech to be there. A speaker must be present in order for speech to be present. How can a speech be there where there is no speaker? Can there be a speech where there is no speaker? But there can be a writing where the writer is not there. Writer is absent, but writing can actually be there. And because of this, speech accommodates immediacy. That means there is no mediacy between the speaker and the speech of that speaker. But when we talk about writing, I may write a book and you may read the book, maybe in a different part of the world, maybe after 500 years later. So the writer doesn't necessarily have to be there in order for his writing to be made present. So I am a writer, I can be absent, and my written form can actually be present. My written form can actually be present. So a writer doesn't necessarily have to be present in order for his writing to be made present. So that's why there is a gap. That's why there is a noticeable gap between writer and the written form. But there is no such gap between speaker and the speech of that speaker. So what am I saying? All I am saying is that speech or the spoken word involves immediacy, and the written word, written logo, does not involve immediacy. In fact, written form involves mediacy, whereas spoken form involves immediacy. And because of this, I have to come to a very interesting post-structuralist, deconstructionist word, logocentrism. Now, what is logocentrism? Logocentrism is a central predominance of word. A central predominance of word. That is to say, entire Western metaphysics is built around logocentrism. Derrida theorizes that entire Western philosophy, entire Western metaphysics is built around this logo, and around the logo being the center, and therefore the entire Western epistemology is predicated upon logos. Now, what is logo? Logo is the basic unit of knowledge, the basic unit of epistemology, the word. Now, what is epistemology? Epistemology is a study of the creation of knowledge. Epistemology is the discipline, is that discipline which deals with the study and creation of knowledge. That is epistemology. But our entire epistemology is unfortunately constructed along the patriarchal lines. Why? Because if we study and research our logos, our words like good, bad, like cooked and raw, like white and black, like male and female, like evil and God and evil, like beautiful and ugly, you see, if we use these words, we would observe two very important features out of all these logos or words or epistemology. That is, the words towards the left side of the slash, that is good, bad means good. So like cooked and raw means cooked. Like male, female means male. So all the left words of the slash, they are privileged, and all the right side of the right, or all the words which are on the right side of the slash, that is good, bad, that is bad, male, female, that is female, they are underprivileged. So we have to research on two topics, that is all the words, logos or epistemes of the left side of the slash are privileged, are masculinized, are patriarchal, and all the right-sided words of the same slash is underprivileged, are always at the disadvantage. So our knowledge, or should I say entire Western metaphysics of epistemology, is predicated upon what? Is predicated upon privileging one set of words and logos and underprivileging another set of logos or words or epistemes. Therefore, the entire knowledge structure of Western metaphysics is based on binary system. And what is binary system? Binary system means using the slash and male, female, good, bad, beautiful, ugly, talented, dull, white, black. So our language is built around these binaries, these oppositional structures. And we cannot go beyond this. For example, if a child is born, we ask, is it a male or a female? As if there are no other options available to humankind. It has to be either male or female. Is it rich or poor? It has to be either rich or poor. Is it black and white? It has to be either white or black. So we do not have any other options beyond these discourses of binarized language of Western epistemology. So the entire logo of Western epistemology is built around this binary or this binarized scheme of language structure. But as we have already mentioned, that all the left-leaning words are privileged. So therefore one set is privileged and another is underprivileged. And this game of privileging one set and underprivileging another is built along the lines of, guess what, patriarchy. In fact, it sanctions, validates, and consolidates patriarchal ideology. Therefore, entire Western, according to Jacques Derrida, therefore entire Western metaphysics is not only logocentric, but also phallogocentric. Now, what is phallogocentric? We have understood there are three words in phallogocentrism. There is phallus, there is logo, and there is center. And what does phallus mean? Phallus is a symbol of patriarchy. It can be penis, it can be pen, it can be bat, it can be lipstick, it can be cigarette. Anything can be a phallic symbol or a phallic sign. So phallus is a heteropatriarchal symbol. So obviously, therefore, phallus stands for patriarchy. Now, what is logo? Logo is word, which constitutes this knowledge system or epistemology of Western metaphysics. And so what is centrism? Centrism means the central position, the dominant central position. And when I take the central position, I push everything towards the margin, towards the periphery, and thereby put it at a disadvantage or the victim of marginalization. The game of marginalization begins the moment this phallus and this logo take up the central slot. So this is why phallogocentrism is a word that Derrida challenges, subverts, and resists. And how does he do that? He has used a couple of words, one from Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the French philosopher, and another from the Greek philosopher Plato. Derrida has taken the help of couple of words of Plato and couple of words of Rousseau. So, and what are these words? So the couple of words that Derrida has taken the help of Rousseau is addition and completion. And the couple of words that Derrida has taken the help of Plato is pharmakou and supplimou. Now let's take the example of newspaper. When the newspaper delivery guy delivers newspaper to us, and we get the newspaper but we do not receive the supplement, or in French supplimou, what would we say? Would we complain? Yes, we would complain, because we haven't been getting the full newspaper. But then that was supplement. We are not supposed to get the full newspaper. So similarly, there are additions which completes the full being. Similarly, there are medicines that is both drug as well as medicine. For if we take the example of pharmakou, what does pharmakou? It means medicine, but it can also mean drug. So what these words suggest, this addition and supplement, if it is supplement, that is it is extra, then how can it complete the whole? It was extra, no? So if it is a drug, how can it be medicine? If I use Plato's word, or the way Derrida has used Plato's word. If I use the word drug, then how can drug be a medicine? If I say this is a medicine, then how can medicine be a drug in the first place? So these are the words that we have to understand, suggest the slipperiness of language, that no matter how much you are confident about language, the language is always skating on a thin ice. That is to say, language is always slipping. Language is always spilling and slipping. It's like a mercury. We try to grab the language and the language sort of spills over. It slips through our fingers and we think that we have gotten hold of language. But then the moment we think we have finally gotten hold of the language slips through our fingers. The language spills over without we realizing the spillage or slippage of language. Now this is where I would like to wrap this video up by saying that Derrida has theorized this slippage or spillage of language, or the slipperiness of language, aporia. Derrida has theorized this slippage or spillage of language as aporia. Now what is aporia? Aporia is that spillage or that slippage of language which problematizes the undecidability of language. Aporia means the maximization of the undecidability of language in terms of its slipperiness, in terms of this spillage or slippage of language. And this aporetic possibilities of linguistic slippage and spillage results in deconstruction. I would like to wrap this video up with a famous French phrase of Derrida. Derrida has called it, I'm quoting Derrida, "Il n'y a pas de hors-texte." In English, there is no outside text. I'll continue with this video on post-structuralist lecture series on Derrida's deconstructionist theories in subsequent shoots. And I'll catch up with you. Till then, it's goodbye for now.